YouTube, what's up, boxing fans? This is Perfect Punch or Perfect P234. I gotta change my YouTube name when I figure that out. Right now I'm PLG LP234. This is a response video to European Boxing News. Just wanted to say shout out to you guys out in the UK, cousins across the pond. Learned about you guys through Boxing Beats and Rhymes and Earl Jarrett. And subscribe to him, subscribe to EJ, and subscribe to you guys when I got you. Ingram and Apollo and all you guys do a great job with your channels, and I do enjoy your videos. I wanted to make a response to your pound for pound list. Not that I've written one myself. I just wanted to talk about some of the names that you guys had and where you put them and why you put them there. You know, it was a while back after Chad Dawson lost the award. There was a big pound for pound debate as to who was number one, who was number two. And there's a guy, Joker Boxing, Joker Boxing 44 or Joker 44 Boxing. He made an excellent video pointing out, you know, what's your reasoning behind your pound for pound and stuff like that. Because you guys talked about in the last part between Floyd and Ward, talked about who deserved to be in the spot. But then earlier in the video, you talked about like a guy like Regendow, who doesn't have enough professional fights. Well, Floyd Mayweather has more professional fights. And you could say, well, Ward cleaned out his division. But when Floyd fought in his first division that he fought at, he cleaned that division out. And when he moved up in divisions, Boxing Beats and Rhymes did a response video to Blood Boxing about Floyd's resume, and he checked the he did his stats, he did his, you know, the history on it, and there's a pattern where, you know, when you move up weights, you don't clean out the whole division in like 10 defenses. There's only a couple of guys that can do that and that have done that, like Holyfield, who cleaned out cruiserweight and did really well at welterweight. I think Tommy Hearns, well, he moved up from welter to light middle and then to middle, and then he went up higher weights, and then he had more fights at those weights and stuff like that. But like, you know, like different guys, they fought, you know, single titles, single champions, and then it moved up, you know. And then Floyd's been a big advocate that the official belt is the WBC belt, and it's kind of hard to argue with that. I mean, because when you look through the list, most of the guys who have or have had the WBC belt have been the killers, you know, been the monsters in the divisions. And I just finished listening to it. It was an hour and a half, an hour and a half long. I thought about rewinding and going over points and writing stuff down, and but that'd be too much exhaustion for me. So I just thought I'd point some of that stuff out. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was in the pound for pound. My understanding is when you beat somebody, you take their position. Like if let's say Marvin Hagler was the baddest man on the planet at the time. Sugar Ray Leonard came out of retirement. Sugar Ray Leonard beats Marvin Hagler, then Sugar Ray should take Marvin Hagler's spot as far as his pound for pound ranking. Like Marquez beat Pacquiao. Marquez should take Pacquiao's pound for pound ranking. Also, I see, you know, you guys were talking about Bradley. I wanted to do a little more research before I talked about the Bradley situation, but I do know he fought a couple of talented, undefeated fighters on his way up. He grabbed 2 belts at 140. Got an opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao. Now, at the time, that's a money fight. It's a cash fight. That's a pound for pound status fight. If you're going to weigh out between him fighting Khan and him fighting Pacquiao, I mean, you can't really blame him. It's not like Khan is better than Pacquiao. So he fought Pacquiao. In my opinion, when I was scoring the fight, judging the fight, I had it a slight edge to Bradley. I could see a draw. And I watched it. I had to watch it at least 3 times. And there was another guy on YouTube, Dante562, who's recently opened a new channel called Dante's Boxing Nation. But on his channel, Dante562, he made several videos about the Pacquiao-Timothy Bradley situation and the judges that scored it, the punch stat inaccuracy, how they said that Pacquiao was landing all these punches that he was missing. Pacquiao might have hurt Bradley in like 1 round or so, but that doesn't carry out through different rounds. He won that round, and it wasn't a 10-8 round. Different things like that. But even if you go off of, say, Pacquiao didn't lose to Bradley, well, then Pacquiao arguably lost to Marquez the fight right before that. And so how high did you have Pacquiao going into the Bradley fight? And then if he did not lose to Bradley, he didn't win that fight impressively. Plus, Bradley had 2 messed up feet in the middle of that fight early. The 2nd round and the 4th round, I think he hurt both of his feet, and then he wound up losing the last 3 rounds. So then he gets knocked out by Marquez in his last fight. So I don't quite see how you have Pacquiao higher than Bradley. Or you could take Bradley off the list. I mean, because in my opinion, this Marquez-Bradley fight is a pound-for-pound versus pound-for-pound fight. And yeah, Bradley did not look that well against Provodnikov, but then Sergio Martinez didn't look that well against Martin Murray. Some of you guys don't have him on the list. Or you could say Pacquiao didn't look good in this fight before the 3rd Marquez fight. I think he fought Mosley. A lot of people saying that Mosley exposed Pacquiao in that fight. Not that Mosley won that fight. So it's like, if you're thinking about longevity, like what's your criteria for your pound for pound? Is it, the quality of opposition, the current, like as of late, what have you done for me lately? Quality of opposition. Is it the number of Hall of Famers he has? Is it about resume? Is it about skill? Is it about dominance? Is it a factor of those things? Because if you think about it, okay, you look at 168 pounds, who can beat Ward? Pretty much nobody. You look at 147 pounds, who could beat Floyd? I don't see anybody beating Floyd at 147. I don't see, and honestly, Floyd is a small welterweight. He shouldn't really be fighting at welterweight. He should be fighting at junior welterweight because the amount of weight that he puts on coming into the ring. But he's generally done that in his career. Like when he fought at super featherweight, he was coming in at like 135, 136 max. When he fought at lightweight, he was coming in at 139, 141. He never was the type to put on a lot of weight when he fights. But everybody he's fighting is pretty much bigger than him, other than the Marquez fight. Now, his last fight, he fought Guerrero. He dominated. The fight before that, he fought Cotto, and he fought Cotto at 54, and it was a competitive fight. But he still clearly won that fight. I think our expectations for Floyd are somewhat higher. So when he does these things, it's like, oh, well, he's supposed to do that. Not really. And, I mean, Guerrero, granted, he's not the best fighter in the world. Maybe he's not a top 10 pound for pound. I think he's quality opposition. I think a lot of the fighters in and around his actual weight are quality opposition. Even Canelo, based off of skill, would be quality opposition. But as far as resume goes, Canelo isn't really a pound for pound guy. I mean, like how you guys said, he had the one fight, and now you want to throw him in there. It's like, it's not enough. If it's not enough for Donaire, and about Rigo, about the Rigo thing, I mean, the man has like 12 fights, and he fought a pound for pound great in Nonito Donaire and dominated him. So, and like I said, in my opinion, when you beat a guy who's on the pound for pound list, you take their spot. So I don't see how you just don't have him in there. That his lack of fights and him beating Donaire, that actually helps his legacy, in my opinion, because you would expect a guy with more experience to beat him. All right, made this video too long. Thank you for listening. Look forward to hearing from you guys again, and I'll keep on to your channel and looking forward to the next video. Thanks.